So Microsoft decided to reveal a new pricing strategy for Game Pass. They're getting rid of games with, I said getting rid of. I'm channeling Elmer Fudd now. They're getting rid of games with gold, and they introduced this new tiered system that says choose the plan that's right for you. I want to go over this, and I want to tell you why I feel like this is incredibly disingenuous. Now, I'm not picking on Xbox. I'm just saying most companies know what they're doing when they want to drive you to make a decision. They tease the idea of choice, but really they're designing something to force you, without even you knowing it, to make the decision that they want you to make. So let's start with the core version. It's $9.99 a month. It offers online console multiplayer, a catalog of over 25 high-quality games on console, which is assuming that's 25 Game Pass games, and member deals and discounts. Now, paying more for the next tier, called Console, $10.99 a month, you get hundreds of high-quality games on console, assuming that's the full Game Pass library, new games on day one, which would be first-party releases, and member deals and discounts. Curiously, though, missing is online console multiplayer. And you would say to yourself, that's kind of odd because that's the next tier up. You're paying more, so why is a feature like online multiplayer being taken out? And we're going to get to that. But next is the PC, the holy grail for Microsoft, where you get everything for $10 a month, in addition to EA Play's membership. And then, of course, you have the ultimate tier, which we're all familiar with. We've been paying $1 for that tier forever. And that's essentially ultimate. It's everything. But I want to go back to the core and the console tiers, because it's incredibly interesting that in the core tier, you're getting online multiplayer and less Game Pass games. But on the console tier, you're getting the full suite of Game Pass games, but no multiplayer. You might say to yourself, why? Why does that exist? Think about this for a second. On the core tier, you're getting 25 or a little bit more Game Pass games with online multiplayer. Do you think the majority of those games that they give you are going to skew multiplayer? Of course they are, because you've got online multiplayer and they want to include that in their tally. But then when you take a step up to console and getting the full Game Pass experience, all of the games in Game Pass, they cut out the multiplayer. Why would that tier exist? Well, it exists to force the decision to either get core or go right to ultimate. The console tier is there to incentivize the ultimate tier. It's not there because it's a choice and because they care. If they really cared about this, think about this one. Let's say I'm a consumer and I have an Xbox. Let's say I don't care about the cloud. I don't want to play cloud games on a phone or a tablet or a PC. I don't need access to Game Pass games on a PC. Take out those three perks right there. Why is there no tier created for that type of consumer that offers the full suite of Game Pass and multiplayer, minus cloud and Game Pass games on PC? Why do you think that tier doesn't exist? Because the majority of people would go to that tier for less than the $16.99 a month ultimate tier. So the reason that tier doesn't exist, and the console tier with full Game Pass but no multiplayer, that tier exists to make you say, I'm core right now, which is what most people are going to convert to if you have games with gold. Why would I want a tier that offers me no online multiplayer? I might as well go to ultimate. That's why it exists. Because any other tier that made sense by taking out perks like I talked about, cloud, or access to PC games, or access to Game Pass games on PC, taking those perks out and offering something in between wouldn't really work for Microsoft, because they want that adoption to ultimate. They want to include you in the tally for Game Pass on PC subscribers, Game Pass on console subscribers, online multiplayer. They want to include everybody. So even if you're subscribed to Game Pass Ultimate on console, you've got those PC perks. They're going to count you even if you don't use them. Think about it. If they had a tier that didn't include cloud on PC, Game Pass access on PC, if they didn't have a tier that had those perks in it, then they wouldn't be able to include everyone who has Ultimate in the tally for Game Pass on PC, Game Pass on console, cloud users. They want that tier to be the most adopted so they can make each of those tiers look like they're doing extremely well. Why would you offer a tier without those perks? Because most people on console would jump at it. I would love a tier without cloud, without Game Pass on PC. I don't play on PC. I'm never going to need access to Game Pass games on a PC. I'm never going to need to use my phone to stream games or a tablet. But if there was a tier that existed that gave me that, because it's all about choice, if they actually gave me that choice, and you and probably thousands of other users, then we couldn't be included in the tally of Game Pass subscribers on PC, people who use the cloud. That's why that tier doesn't exist, and the console tier does. Now look, this isn't anything new. In fact, this is a pretty ingenious way to offer choice, but also ensure that a large number of people make the decision that you want them to make. And this isn't something inherent to Microsoft. Every company, every corporation has figured out how to do this. I just would like to point out that this is what's happening. This middle console tier of full Game Pass but no multiplayer isn't like this choice. I mean, there are people out there who say, I really want every Game Pass game I could possibly get, but I'm not interested in playing anything online, even online-centric MMOs. Now, if Microsoft conceivably makes those, or because they own Call of Duty now, what if Call of Duty doesn't make it into that console tier, right? And if it does, which ultimately it probably would because that's the full suite of Game Pass, you don't have online multiplayer. So what do? Do you down convert to Core? Well, Core only gives you 25 or so Game Pass games. What if those online-centric multiplayer games that you want to play, like Call of Duty, aren't in the Core tier? Isn't there an incentive for them not to put Call of Duty in the Core tier, but put it in the console tier, even though the console tier doesn't have multiplayer? Guess what? It's going to be there because it's the full suite of Game Pass games. So what are you going to say to yourself? Well, I'd like to hop online with my friends at least once or twice a year. I'm not a heavy multiplayer type gamer, but I can't down convert because those games might not be there even though multiplayer is. So what is next? Ultimate. That is why that middle console tier exists. Sometimes by offering absolutely no choice, that is the choice that these companies want you to make. It's a smart, ingenious way to get you to make a decision, even though you don't know that you're being forced into making it. It is an ingenious way to trick you into believing that there is this choice for you, when ultimately in time you're going to find that everything that they do funnels you into either being an Ultimate subscriber or just a PC gamer paying less for absolutely everything. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next one.